DIY friends. I am so happy you're back, and of course for everyone who is new here, my name is Yanni and I'm doing this DIY channel together with Dyanne, and of course we hope you are ready for some new inspiration. Let's go for it. The tumbling tower blocks are ready on my table, so let's go make a truck. I take 4 tumbling tower blocks and I am going to glue them together, and I will do that 4 times. So I get 4 pieces with the tumbling tower blocks from 4 pieces at each. So this is one, and I will do the rest out of camera. So this is almost one. And of course remove the glue you don't need. And this one, the last one. And just squeeze it very hard. And now you see, now you have a 1 of 4, and we are going to make 4 each. So I will do the rest out of camera, and then we are going to do the next step. You see, I have my 4 of 4. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make one long piece. So I'm going to do some glue on this one, and I'm gluing this one and this one together. Squeeze very hard. You get a nice piece, and we're going to do this one. And again, squeeze very hard so it will be very tight. And this one. And I'm going to glue this one also. And again, squeeze very hard. So you get a nice long piece. And this one was already 16 blocks. So I'm going to try to keep up with you how many blocks you need. What we're going to do, I'm going to glue this one and this one and this one on this side. Of course, it's a little bit over the side, but it will work, because if I do another side with it, it will be too big. So, and I'm going to glue this together. But of course, I will do it out of camera, or else it will probably take too long. So you see, this is what I mean. I did one this way, and this way. And now we're going to do a second layer, and we're going to do 2 over here and 2 over here. And just on top of each other. And this one over here. Of course, you have to glue it on top of your piece and not on your table. So you see here, this is the wrong way. You see already, I have my whole placemat under my glue already. But I'm going to do, I'm going to do the rest. You see, this is how he is looking right now. I'm going to take again 2 blocks, and I'm going to do them inside of here in the middle of this one. And of course I have to squeeze it in, and I'm going to do this one over here, and I will glue this in a moment. I will glue this of course with my glue gun, but you see already now you get a nice little back side of your truck. You see, I glue everything together. What we're going to do right now, again, the next step, I'm going to do glue one over here. Of course I will show it to you, it's a little bit better. This one over here, and try to get it as even as your little backside of your truck is. Of course remove the glue you don't need. And I'm going to do one over here. And again, try to get it as even as you can with the rest. And again, I'm going to remove my glue. And this is what I mean. You see here, just 2 of this one. Now we're going to do 1 in the middle of this one. Of course, we have to squeeze it in a little bit. Of course, you could do it a little bit smarter than I did. You just glue first 3 together and then glue it in one piece on top of each other. Then you do it a little bit better than I do. So you see here, I did this one flat, so it is the same as the sides. So I did this totally on the bottom of our back side of our truck, so you get a nice flat piece over here. And this one we are going to do, of course, also squeeze it in, and we are going to glue this one on top of here. So this will look this way. So it looks this way right now. Just you make the little back side, you did one piece a little bit lower and this one on top of here. Now we're going to try to make the front, but like I said, everything is an experiment. I never made a truck from Tumbling Tower Blocks, so for me it's just as new as you, and we are building it along as everything is coming in my head. So it can be a big hit, but it can also be a big failure. So we are going to glue now a couple of blocks this way. On this moment we used 32 blocks, 16 under. This 4 is 20, 4 here is 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 4, 5 and 6. So sorry, it's 36. English counting is not my greatest. At least it is 36. So what we're going to do right now, we are going to glue 2 pieces over here, just against your frame of the truck. This way. And this one is coming on top of the other one. Also again, against the truck. So this makes a little bit of the back window of the cabin. So we are going to do 2 over here and we are going to do 2 over here. It is, until this moment it is easy, but we don't know what we will come against. Again, this one over here. And again, glue it together. And what we're going to do right now, we are going to take 1 block and we are going to glue this together. And then we're going to measure out how much we need from 1 block to put it in between for making a kind of a door. So I'm going to glue this one on top of here. And I know this is not the easiest way. I know that. Most of the time I don't go for the easiest way. You saw me just struggling a moment ago, but at the end we will get there. And this one, and then I'm going to measure out the space in between, and again glue it together and make sure it is standing in the same line. I show it to you. This is how it's looking like right now. And now we are going to measure out this space, and we are going to saw a little block on the same space we need in between. You see already I did the sides, 2 little pieces I did have cut out a little bit like this. It's not a lot, so but just measure out, but maybe your blocks are a little bit better measurements than mine, so maybe you don't have to cut out a little piece. So I did this one and this one. Now we are going to try to make the front closed. So we are going to do the same as we did on the back side. We are going to do 2 on top of each other and squeeze them over here. So I'm going to do a little tryout and then I show you what I did. And here you see already, this is what I did with my truck. Every time I keep saying trunk, I don't know why, but it is of course a truck. So I did 2 on top of each other, and the third one I did flat. So I show it to you. I did 2 like this one on each other, and I did this one on the flat way, but a flat line also on top of here. So I did it this way, and then I squeezed it in, and then it looks like this one. Now I'm going to take 1 block and I'm going to glue this inside of here, the same as the top we use here. So we get a nice roof on our truck. Of course, you can also, if you want to have clothes, maybe that's also nice. Then you have to do all the blocks inside of here, and then you can close of course the truck. Maybe I will do that. I will have to figure it out, but I think I'm going to close it when I look at it right now. So again, for the roof, I am going to use 3 blocks, just glue them together and remove the glue. And again, this one and the third one also again next to each other. Squeeze them and just remove the glue. And now we are going to ready to glue this on top of here to make a closed roof. You see already we have our roof also finished. Now we need only the piece where the motor is in. So I'm going to make 4 blocks together. And this is again just a try. I don't know how it will how it will turn out and how it will look like. We're doing our best. So, but most of the time at the end it works. So we will see if this will work also. This is 3. Now we're going to do 4. And now we have the top of our place where our engine will be. We are going to do 2 pieces together. And we do that 3 times. So this one, of course, this is number 2 with 2 pieces together. And the last one, and this one. So here you get 3 pieces, and what we're going to do, I'm going to glue on each side 1. I'm going to glue this one on top of here. Of course, I have to measure out that I am at the right place, or else it doesn't fit. And 1 over here. And I think the other one I still need to glue again, because I think because I turned it, he got loose. So this one is stuck. This one is not totally stuck, but we will see. And now we are going to squeeze this one inside of here. Of course, I should have done this earlier. You always say, you have such a saying, and doesn't hit his head on the one side, so I have to work with it a little bit. So we are going to do this one in between. And we are going to glue this again. Of course, I will take it off because that's better than what I'm doing right now. Of course, you see, DIY is always a struggle, and you learn by the way. At least normally people learn by the way, but I always keep doing the same thing. And I'm going to do this one side a little bit. And now we're going to put it together. And again, squeeze it on top of each other. And you get a nice little bucket, and you can place this on top of here. And now you have your front of your truck. So you see here already you get your frame of your truck. At least it looks like a truck. We will see how I decorate it and how it will turn out. What we're going to do, I'm going to go to my stash, and I'm going to look for some wheels. So, and of course some headlights. So we will see if I can decorate it a little bit, so how he will look right then. You see already I did go to my stash and I found some around. I always order them online on AliExpress because they are the most cheapest. So I have one of the bigger one and of the smaller one, and I will this one I will do with some marker in the black one. Of course you also can paint it. This one will be in the silver color, and I will glue this one in the middle, so we have one wheel already attached for our truck. So I will do this 4 times, and for the short one we also make 2 of the lights for on the top of front of the truck. So And of course I have my paint over here, my white chalk paint. I always have it in this kind of boxes because most of the time the containers which is coming in is not the greatest quality. So most of the time I do it in this kind of containers. So I will paint first, of course, my frame of my truck, and I will do my round in the black, and like I said, in the gray. So you see, I make myself simple, and I'm just going to do it with some black marker. But like I said, you can also give it a paint. I will do all 4 of them, and this one I will do in the silver. So the wheels are ready. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue the lighter one in the middle of the black one. Of course, you can give it any color you like. I used the silver, but of course you can do anything you like. I have to make sure that I get it in the middle and remove the glue which is coming out. So you see, you have already one tire. So I'm going to do the rest, and then we're going to paint our frame of our truck. So you see, I do the white color. I do. The white color, but you can use any color. If you want to make them for the 4th of July, just make them red or blue. Just give them any color you like, and later on you always can change it, because every decor piece, most of the time you can change it in any color you like. So I will paint this off in the white color. Here you see already our truck is already in the white color. For me, he is a little bit too white, so I try to get it a little bit of the older rustic feeling. I'm going to do that again with my brown and my black. I will bore you with that, so I will do it out of camera, because lots of DIYs I show you how I distress my pieces. Especially at least the DIY before this one, I distressed also. So if you want to see it, go ahead, go check out our DIYs. So I will distress it, and then I show you how it's turning out, and then we're going to glue the wheels on our truck. Here you see already how I distress my truck. It also can be submarine. Submarine. I still have to get used that this is going to be a truck. We will see if this really is going to look like a truck, and then, or else you can do it, call it anything you like. We will, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do my wheels under it, and I'm going to look if I can maybe something of a kind of letters on top of here. We will see, and then we're going to decorate it. And here is our little truck with some wheels on it, and I have to be honest, it's already looking less like a submarine, but I gave him some pins on the back side to give him some lights, and on the front side, so just easy pins, because I couldn't find anything which was a little bit smaller than the wooden rounds I had. I didn't like it, so I'm going for this one, but if you have something else which is better, always do. So what I'm going to do, I found some wooden letters, and I'm going to do some letters on the front, on the back, and on the side. And maybe we are going to do some, I have a little bit of the thicker rope. Maybe I will do one layer of the thicker rope from this way to this way on the side of the back side of the truck. You see here, I did some rope on here. I did some letters on the side. I spelled the word farm, and on top the brand of the truck, and on the back side I did some numbers. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give the numbers a color. I don't know which color, maybe black or maybe gold, I don't know. And then I will do some greenery on the back side and some lemons, and then I show you the end result. Blocks are on my table. I have my glue gun ready, so we are going to make our farmhouse tree. So we will see, like I said, how this will turn out. First, what we're going to do, is we're going to make a base, and I'm going to make a base from 3 blocks attached to each other, so 3 like this one. But of course, if you like to stand a little bit bigger or maybe a little bit different, it's also fine. You can do whatever you like. I will do, at least I try to keep it a little bit smaller, so I'm trying to do it with 3. I hope this will work out. You see, just squeeze it and do the 3rd one, and just squeeze it again and try to get it as even as you can. Remove your glue again. That way you always make sure that you have later a better cleaner decor piece. So this is our base. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take 4 blocks and I'm going to glue 2 together. You see it this way. Squeeze it and remove your glue immediately. I will do this one. Why do I always get under the glue? I don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm always trying to do it as fast as I can so you don't get bothered with my clumsiness, but it never works. Now I have my 2 piece. I lay it down. I take 1 block and I'm doing some glue on it, and I'm place it in the middle this way, and try get as even as you can. And now we are going to do the other side, also a little bit of the glue on top of here, and also place it again in the middle and squeeze it and try to get it not like I do. You have to get it straight, and now you get a nice plus. I don't know how you say this. I think it's plus. So I'm going to glue this on top of this base, and now I'm going to build it up. I'll show you that in a moment. So you see, I did place my little base. The plus I did on top of here. At least I call it a plus because it's the shape of a plus. And I did glue it on top of our 3-piece base, and I did 3 more of these sizes and glue them together. So I have 4 of them, and I am going to glue this on top of here. So we will get a nice base for our tree. So I will place it on top of here. Try to get it as even as you can and squeeze it. And it doesn't matter because my blocks are not all of them are straight, so my tree will be a little bit offline because because the blocks are not the same size all the time. So I am going to have a nice base for my tree. What I'm going to do now, we're going to build our branches. So I do this one aside, and now we're going to make some branches. You see, I did an example for the underside because I'm starting with the smaller branches. So I made this simple piece, so at least I hope later it will look like a branch. So we will do 1 block over here, and I'm going to try to make 4 of them because I have 4 sides on my tree. So I will lay them down the same way so I get a little bit of an example how I want to have it. Just put your one on them and keep it in place for a little moment. So you can make 4 of the same if you just build them under each other, and just for the same, just do a little bit of glue off here and just lay it the same way and just squeeze it. There you see, you already have the next one, and it looks the same like the first one. So I will do 3 and 4, and then we are going to glue them on top of our tree. You see, I have all 4 of them, and I have my base, and you see already, because we have the size of a plus, we have 4 sides. On each side we can do a branch. I leave open a little piece, maybe two pieces, and now we're going to glue this way we like to have it on our thing. And of course we do here, one over here and one over here. I show it to you in a moment. So I take my first branch. I want to have it a little bit over here. I do some glue on it and I am going to place it this way, a little bit sideways, and just keep it in place for a little moment until your glue is dried up. I use my glue gun, but of course you can use any glue you like. And you think, see, this is what I mean. This will be the first band, and so I will go around. And you see already we did all 4 of them on the side of our base. What we're going to do right now, I'm just going to take 2 blocks and I'm going to glue it also sideways on top of each other, so this way, and just wait a moment until he's dried. And of course we are going to do again 4 pieces of this one, because we need 4 sides, and again a little bit sideways. It is not really the heart of heart, but also it is not really I don't know how you say it. At least you don't have to have the same measurements like this one. Just try to get them as same as you can, but it doesn't has to be an issue if you don't have them the same, but just try to get 4 of them at the same size. Sometimes my English is always doing something different than I want to explain. That's sometimes really hard, but English, like you all know, English is not my main language, so I am really doing my best. So you see, I have really 4 of them. What we're going to do, I hope I can explain it to you. You see, we did on one side, we did 1 branch, but of course you see here on this side, we didn't do anything. So now we are going to take this one and we are going to place a little bit higher, but on the different side than we used to. We did glue it on this side, and now we're going to glue it on this side. I did all 4 of them on top of above the other side. I will show it to you. I hope I can show it to you on camera a little bit better. So you see, one I did, the longer one is on this side glued, and the other one is glued on the other side of the same corner. You see, as a corner, I did 1 on this corner and 1 on this corner in the same plus size. So this is a corner, and I did 1 down below, that is the 3 piece, and the 2 piece I did on this corner on the same size. So maybe if I show it to you this way, it's a little bit easier, because it looks difficult, but it is totally not difficult. So just play around a little bit with it. I hope I explained, and if you have questions, just leave a comment down below and I love to answer. What we're going to do right now, we are going to make the top first, and I'm going to get 3 blocks again. I will do it aside, and again I'm just going to glue them on top of here, and I need some new glue, and just do a little dot on top of here. Just place it sideways and remove the glue and squeeze it a little bit. And now we're going to do the other part and a little bit glue on top of here, and also make the shape you like, because I make this shape, but maybe you don't like it. So just make the shape you like for your tree. But it looks difficult, but it really is so easy. Now I am going to get my tree, and I'm going to place this one on this side, and I'm going to make a different one for this side. So I get for the different side 2 new blocks, and I am keeping my blocks this way because this is the way I will glue it on top of my tree. So I will keep it this way. Now I'm going to glue 1 over here. So I will do that first. So get your block on top and keep it in place for a moment, and then glue this one on the back side of your piece. So I'm doing some glue on top of here and just glue it any shape you like. I tried this shape. I don't have no clue if this will look okay or not. But I always say with a tree, you can do anything you like. So I showed you a little bit closer. So you first make a 3-piece and then you put it in this shape that you have a straight underside. And then you're going to glue this one on the back side just with 2. So we get a nice top of our tree. So we get the base and now we are going to glue this. I hope I showed you a little bit better. We are going to glue this on top of here. So doing some glue over here and just place our little block in between and in the middle. This way. So you see, now we have our top of our tree, and now we need the pieces on each corner again from the bottom. So the 3 pieces we are going to make, and we are going to place them in between. Just breaking in to tell you that this video is also part of a beautiful challenge which is called What Would You Make? This challenge is hosted by the beautiful Sena from OK at Home DIY and Connie from Connie's Creative Creation. For this month's host, they asked Ellie from DIY from House to Home. I have all the ladies their links from the channels in my description box, and of course also the playlist link you will find there for lots and tons of beautiful DIYs made from wood. So if you are interested in home decor from wood, go check out the playlist. And now we go further with our DIY. I already made the first branch, so we need 4 of them because we have 4 corners again. Just make 4 sets of, and you just lay this one also with a little glue. And now you get this one on here and this one on here, a little bit the same, but you don't have to be exactly the same. So again, this is the second one. I will make 4 of them, and then we're going to glue the last pieces on our tray. So you see, we have all 4 of them. I lay them a little bit aside. We are going to take our tree again, and you see already, if I am keeping it sideways, you see we did 1 branch over here on this side, on this feet, 1 over here, and we did 1 over here. Now we're going to do the next one on the same side as we did the underside. So we are going to place it over here, but we are going to do it a little bit more sideways. So not this way, but a little bit more straight up. So it looks a little bit more like a tree. I hope I can explain it to you well. This is how our tree turned out, and I showed you a little bit sideways. This is the top, and you see already the only thing I am missing is on top, because we did our branches. I just missed in the middle 1 little block, so it makes a little bit more complete. So it probably depends on how you are gluing your blocks together. I did probably a little bit too high, so I think it needs a little touch over here. So I am going to place 1 block exactly in the middle of all my tree. So but I think he looks very nice. I wish I could get my camera this way that you could see the tree in totally, but later at the end result you will see. So I will glue this one, and then we are going to do the next step. So before we're going to do the next step, I also want to show you the tree a little bit sideways. Maybe it's a little bit more better to see how you can glue it together. So you see, it is very easy to make. So we are going to give it now a nice coat of paint. This is the tree before I going to paint it or wax it. I'm not really sure what I will do, but you see now a little bit better how it is really built. And I used 56 blocks, so it's not a lot. Most of the time in one pack is around the same number, so I am use 56. So I hope you also give it a try because this one is so easy. So but now I'm going to decide if I'm going to paint it or I'm going to wax it. For waxing, I always use a very cheap brand, just a homemade brand from a store here in the Netherlands, a Kruidvat. And of course, you can buy them at a Dollar Tree or something else. Just use a very cheap brand. I am going to chosen not to do it in the white chalk paint, but if you like it in the white chalk paint, just go ahead, do whatever you think is right, maybe a brown color, a green color, just do what's fitting for your decor. I just give it a little coat with my brown furniture wax, and I think this will look a little bit better in my decor. So, but already with a little touch, you already see how much our tree turns for the better if you do a little bit of furniture wax on top of it. I will do the whole tree and then we are going to give it a little decoration before we finish this off. You see how our tree turned out. I showed you a little bit this way. Maybe I can do the camera a little bit further away so you can see it a little bit better. So this is how the tree turned out, and I think he looks very nice, but you see it a little bit better in a moment, so don't worry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to decorate it with a couple of the branches, but a little bit of the longer ones. If I am correct, I also saw this kind of branches at the Dollar Tree, if I am correct, when I'm look at videos from shopping with me with thing. I thought I also saw this kind of piece, but of course go ahead, do whatever you think is right. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to place my tree down, just lay it a little piece over here and just work your way inside the tree and just do whatever you think is fitting and just turn it around and just place it inside so you get a nice couple of branches inside of your tree. So I will do this with the whole tree, and maybe I can do some a couple of pairs on top of here, so we will see. But for you, I will show you in a moment the end reveal. For in my tree, I just wanted to do a couple of lemons, but I was thinking, how do I get them inside of the tree but not damage my tree, because I want to use it for Christmas season. You can do little Christmas balls in it, so I want to keep the tree totally intact. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some couple of the little lemons. I'm pulling out my little plastic green dot at the end. I take my scissors and I just make the hole a little bit bigger so I can get a little piece of twine inside of it. I'm just going to take a little piece of ribbon. I'm just going to fold it together this way, just fold it together, squeeze it and just push it inside of your lemon. Then take your scissor and just work your way inside of the lemon so it is the length you need for your tree. And of course, now you see a little bit of a hole, but we don't want to do that. So I'm just doing some little bit of glue inside of here and a little bit on the sides. What I did take a couple of my boxes and I just pulled off a couple of the leaves, and I'm just going to work my way inside of the little hole. So you see, I'm just going to lay down the little petals of our boxes, and I do a couple of them on each side. So you get a nice little, yeah, I don't know how you call it. Of course, this is not the lemon shape normally, but with me, nothing is normal. So just go ahead, make it a little bit your own decor. So, and I'm just going to keep it a little bit until it is dried up. You see, now you have your own little lemon hanger, and I'm just going to hang it inside of my tree. Of course, you can do it here, and now you don't have to damage your tree. So I do a couple of them, and then you really see the end result. DIY, we need only a couple of things. We need some cardboard. I am using some cardboard pieces I had laying around. These were 3 pieces for 70 cents. So I had luck, but of course, if I didn't have this, I would use my cardboard I always have in my stash. So that's for free. We need a couple of tumbling blocks and we are needing some twine. This is a little bit of the main thing. Later on we still need 2 prints, but you see that in a moment. So this is the only thing we will need. You see already I took 2 of the canvases because I had 3. So I took 2 of them and I'm going to make some 4th of July signs from it. But of course with my own twist on it. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go to my computer and I'm going to print out 2 prints and I will show you in a moment. And these are the prints I am going to use. I am going to do one of them with the blue and the stripes, of the blue and the stars. And this one I'm going to do the flag. But you see already it is an old look, a rustic look, because the DIY will be a rustic look. I love always a little bit of the rustic and old style, but if you like a little bit more of the modern style, just go ahead, do it in the modern way. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take one of them because we make 1 each. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to do it with some Mod Podge on all over, and then I'm going to place my print over it. And you see already the print is fitting this way on both sides, but not on this way. So I have to be careful that I really get it in the middle, because later on we are going to work away the sides. So, but I'm going to go Mod Podge this on top of here. So you see, I did everything in the Mod Podge. Now I'm going to try to get my print in the middle of my display. So I am hoping I'm a little bit in the middle. So it doesn't have to be on every millimeter, but of course, try to get it in the best you can. So, and I hope now my blocks will get all my print in, or else I have made a mistake. So I will let this dry for a moment and then I'm going to do the next step. You see already I did both of the prints on the canvas, and now we are ready to use our tumbling blocks to make a nice side around our print. So I'm going to start with my stars, and I'm going to use some Mod Podge to make a little line around our print. So what I'm going to do, I'm just take a little tumbling block, just do the sides with some Mod Podge, and I'm doing a little bit more, just dab it a little bit, and I'm going to do it on top of my picture and just squeeze it a little bit. Make sure that you have a straight line. At least I'm going to try to make a straight line. I will do all around it and then I show you how it's looking like. And here you see both of them have their frames around it, and I am still debating if I will do the frames in the white, the black or the rustic furniture racks. We will see, but first I'm going to take a piece of thicker rope and I'm going to make a line in the middle against the sides. I'm going to do this piece of rope. So I will get my glue gun and then we're going to glue it together. So you see, I am going to start in the corner under in the underside of our frame, because I like that a little bit better. So I'm going to do a little glue in the corner, in the sides, and just lay down my rope against it. So just squeeze it a little bit until it is dry. And so we go around the whole picture frame with the rope on the sides. I really think it gives even more like a rustic and nautical. I don't know if you can call it that way, but at least I think it makes it very nice with a piece of rope. And I use, like you see, a little bit of the thicker one, but of course you can do a couple of layers of the smaller one, but it's always a little bit harder to do because you have your glue you have to worry about. You don't want to see a lot of glue on your rope. What I'm going to do right now, I made my decision and I am going to do it in the furniture wax. I would have tried the black color, but I'm a little bit scared how it will turn out. But of course, go ahead if you like it, try it. So I will do it in the furniture wax. And you see the furniture wax is so easy to work with. And of course, also go a little bit over your rope. That even gives a more of a warmer warmer feeling. So go ahead and don't forget the sides also, because you don't want to see that the sides are not beautiful to see. So you want to look, all sides have to look beautiful. So I will do both of them, and then I will show you how this is looking like, and then we're going to do some lettering inside of our frame. So you see already I have my letters on my table. This will be for the frame with the stars. So the stars and stripes, and on the other one I will do God Bless America, and I use my wooden letters. I have them in any color, in the brown color, in the black and in the white. So I'm choosing for the white. So I will glue this on top of our frames. And here you see already I did the letters on top of here, and I know you see it right now in the opposite direction, but later you will see it in the right way. This is just my telephone, so don't worry, you will see it in the right direction in a moment. I am really loving how it turned out, and I'm only debating if I will do a little bit of some furniture wax on top of here, but we will see. But for you, in a moment you will see the finished result. I am back, so sorry. The finished result will be here in a moment, but I just wanted to show you. I did with some brown marker, I did go a little bit over the sides of the white letters, and you see already the difference when you do this one or this one. It just gives a little bit more of an old rustic feeling. So I'm going to do also this one, but you see already I am really loving how this is turning out. But in a moment you really see the end result. What we will use for this DIY, we need our tumbling tower blocks. You can buy them at the Dollar Tree. Here we can buy them at the Action or online. I also need 2 of the wooden slices, and I always order them online on AliExpress because they are there the cheapest, but you can find them also at the Dollar Tree and here in the Netherlands with the Action. These are the main things we need for our base of our wheelbarrow, because we are going to try to make a wheelbarrow from tumbling tower blocks. It is again my first time for making it, so I take you along in this DIY. And here you see our blocks are ready. I am ready. I hope you are ready. And I am going to try to make our tumbling tower block wheelbarrow. It will be a challenge because it is my first time also, but that's why I'm going to choose to do it with some music, so you can see every step I make, but you don't have to be bored listening to me all the time. So I put on what music, and then we're going to make the base of our wheelbarrow. Never made one before, so we will see how this will turn out. I am making this start, and then we're going to do further with some music under it. you see already the base of our homemade tumbling tower wheelbarrow. This was my first time, that's why I chose to do it on some music, and then you can work together with me, because the steps are very easy. You just saw how easy it was. The only thing you need to know is that the blocks, the half blocks, are always the half of a bigger block. So this is a half, this one here is a half, and in between the wheels are also a half. So it's very easy to glue it on top of each other, but this is so easy to make. The next step what we're going to do is just going to paint our wheelbarrow. You see already a little piece of my barrel is already in the white color, because I am going to paint it in the white chalk paint. Of course, you can choose any color you like. If you like more brown or maybe green, just go ahead, do whatever you like. I will do the wheels in the black color, but for the rest he will be in the white. Maybe later on I will distress it, but we will see about that. But first I'm going to paint it. Our wheelbarrow is already now in the white chalk paint. I did one layer because I think a little bit of the wood coming through, I really love that. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to take my black schoolboard paint and I take a little smaller brush and I'm going to do the wheels in the black color. But of course, if you like more the brown color, it's fine also, but I will do this one in the black color, let it dry, and then we are ready for the next step, and that will be making little prints for on top of here. You see the paint is dried up, but what I did also, I took my black marker and my brown marker to give it a little bit of a distressed look. I just did some pieces with a little bit of the black. I have no order how I do it or not. I just take my marker and just keep it always flat and go around the sides. So this way, and just make little marks with black on it, and when you have everything distressed in the black, you take your brown and you just make little pieces of the brown around the black, so it gives a little bit of a rustic feeling. So your barrel is a little bit old. So I do little pieces, and then we are going to go to my computer and we are going to make our print. The brown is finished too, so for me is enough distressing, but if you like more distressing, just go ahead. For now, we are going to my computer and we are going to make a nice print for on the sideways and maybe something for in the front, but we will see. Here are the prints we just made. I always do a couple of them extra because if I cut wrong, I always have an extra print. And this one is a little bit smaller. I don't use the whole print. I only use Fresh Daily. And this will be probably on the front of our wheelbarrow, but we will see. I will cut them out now first, and then we are going to Mod Podge them on the sides. I have cut them out, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my Mod Podge, and I am using just this brand, but you can use school glue or something else you like to use. Everyone is doing Mod Podging on their own way. So I'm going to Mod Podge this print, and I do always a little bit thicker. So I'm going to take my print and just place it on top of my barrel. And I try to get it in the middle and just work my way around the print. I just see, and I try to squeeze a little bit harder so you get the nice structure of the wood of the tumbling tower blocks also in your print. But you have to be careful, don't rip your print, because then you are having more of a problem. So you see already I have done one, and I'm going to do the second one also. You see already our little print already dried up, and I think he turned out so summery. So I am really loving this. What we're still going to do, we are going to keep it simple. We are going to do in the wheelbarrow, we are going to do some lemons. I have here my lemons and pears. Of course, we are going to use the little lemons, And I have my, in my stash, always have a couple of bags with some greenery. I always keep my greenery for years and years. So I will take off some greenery and some lemons, and then I think we are ready for the finished result. So all the pieces are on my table, but like I said, I keep it very simple. I just take some couple of my branches. I'm going to use this one and just place it on each side, one, because we are keeping it simple. And if you think this is boring, just move it and skip forward. I'm just placing in each corner a different color. Now I'm going to do the lavender. Of course, I'm going to try to get one over here and one over here to make a little bit of a cylindrical piece. Now I'm going to cut off this piece, so we have two of the same. Now you see already we have two of the same pieces, and we are going to do this on the sides. And now we get a nice round already. I'm going to take the white, I don't know how you call this one. At least I don't know how you call this one in the Netherlands. It's called, I think, lilies, if I am correct, but I can be totally wrong. So let me know. I just cut off a little piece because he's a little bit too big. So I place one over here in between. I take another one, also cutting it a little bit shorter. Of course, if I get it, if I can get it cut, I'm going to do it one over here, a little piece. And the next one, of course, also cut off a little piece and one this way. And I will do 3 of them, so to get a nice, and now you see already you have a nice blooming middle. And I let it come up a little bit. So now I have 2 of the berries, and I also do one over this way and one a little bit more this way, and hang it over a little bit over the side. And now I think it's almost time to do some lemons in the middle. Of course, try to get as much as you can inside of here. And what you also can do, if they fall every time out of your wheelbarrow, you can put a little pick and just squeeze it inside of here and then stick it in. Then it's a little bit better to work with. I probably should have done this. And now again, one on top. And I think our little wheelbarrow is already finished. So in a moment you see the end reveal. New DIY we are doing for Christmas in July. Like I said, we are going to make a Christmas tree, but this time I'm going to try to make a three-dimensional tree. That's a difficult word for a Dutch lady. So a three-dimensional tree. So I will show you that in a moment. But what we will need for as main item we use is of course our tumbling tower blocks. So I hope you have them laying around, or else the Dollar Tree, Action, or Dollarama. Lots of the kind of stores have the little blocks. So if you have found them, I hope you join me. I have my blocks ready, and of course my glue gun is ready. We are going to do the first row of our tree, and that will be 7 blocks to each other because we are going to make a smaller tree, and of course I will make a bigger one. And then I tell you later on exactly how you also make the bigger one, but we start with the smaller one, and we're doing it step by step. So for everyone who doesn't like step by step, I just hope maybe skip forward or just relax and just enjoy. Maybe you still enjoy step by step. So I have 5, this is number 6 and number 7. You see here now we have 1 block of 7. The next row will be a block of 5. So we're going to do 5 and try to get them as even as you can. This is number 3. Now we have number 4, and even my glue gun is already starting to make smoke. You see already, my glue gun is smoking. I don't know if there's a good sign or not. We will see. Of course, now we have 5, and this one will be attached to this one. And now we make a row of 3, and this is 2, and this is number 3. And just like I said, try to get them as even as you can and remove immediately the glue. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue the 3 part of the 5 part on top of the 7, just this way. This is already the start of your base. Do the 3 part also on top of here on the 3 parts, and just squeeze it together. And now we only need the 2 parts. And then I didn't mean the 2 parts, I just mean 1 part. I did it wrong. I was counting and thought this is not going right. So the one on top. What we're going to do right now is, again, we are going to do the half of the tree. So this will be 7 is under, so we are going to do 3 block of 3. This one, and this is number 3, because we want to make a half of a tree. So you see, this is 3. Now we're going to do a 1 of 2. This way. I'm going to glue it immediately on this part. Like this, so you get 3 and 2, and now we still need the block of 1. You see, if you glue them together, you get your half of your tree already on top of here. We are going to make another half. Of course, again, 1 block of 3, because we need 2 halves, and still again another one, and I got already glued 1 of 2, so I glue this one on top of the 3 again. It is very easy to do. And just remove the glue right away, and we still need block number 1, and we're going to glue this on top of this one. So you see, we get 2 halves and 1, and now we're going to glue this one on here, and we're going to glue this one on here, so we get a nice simple dry match. Whoa. 3-dimensional tree. So I will glue this together. So we are going to take the middle block of our tree. So you see this one. Now I'm going to glue 1 half on top of here. I think I need some new glue, or else my part doesn't want to stick together. This way, and just place it in the middle and try to get it as even as you can. And just squeeze it for a moment. And this is how it will look like. You see here, now you already have your first half of your tree. The other side is a little bit more difficult because you have already one part on top of it. So at least this one is a little bit more difficult because I already made one bigger tree. I'll show you them in a moment. So this one is a little bit more difficult to get it in place, especially to get it in the middle, because or else you have it not on the same straight line. And I always keep it in my hands this way, squeeze it, and this is how it is looking like. So now you have all sides, and you see here, this is the bigger tree I just made, and you see this is the large one. And instead of doing with this one, I did 7. I started with 7, 5, 3 and 1, and this one I started with 9, 7, 5, 3, and this one I did the top I did later. Sorry, you didn't see it. I'm so sorry. So this one was 9, 7, 5 and 3, and this one I did later on top of here. So this one was not first, it was not here, so I did it later. That's why I chose for this one also on the top to do an extra one. But normally you can also make them without this one. You only make the 3 parts, but I don't like it. For me, I like this more, a little bit more like a tree. So you see here already, I have on the underside, I made a simple stand. So I show you now my stand. That is very easy to make. You just get 2 parts of 3. So again, make 3 parts. And you get nice little squares. And this is number 1 already. And I immediately do the glue away, because I always sitting under my glue. I don't know why, but I hear from a lot of friends, they also have the same problem when they crafting, especially when my camera is running. I'm always under the glue. This is one. Now the last one, and of course you see already we have now 2 parts of 3. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn one around and I'm going to place it on top of here and just glue it and place them on top of each other in the, and just squeeze it. And you see you get a nice little stand for your tree. And now I'm going to do some glue, because this is the most easiest way. Just do a little bit of glue over here, and then just place your stand under here. So I will do it this way, a little bit over here, a little glue over here. And now I'm just going to place my stand on top of here, and I try to get it in the middle. At least I hope I succeed. And now I have to squeeze it a little bit. What not is so nice from this kind of blocks, because I ordered this one always online, most of the time with some stores here in the Netherlands, but most of the time the blocks are not always the same size, and that's sometimes very difficult to work with, because then you always get your decor not always the way you want it to be. So you see, this is the smaller tree, and now we have a bigger one and a smaller one, and now we're going to decorate it. And you see, we are going to decorate our trees, but before I'm going to do, I tell you also, I will do my trees in some furniture bags, but of course you can paint it. If you want to paint it, then you have to paint it first. You're going to do your decoration on top of it. That will be better, but because I will do some furniture wax on top of here. If I will do that before I will do my decoration, then it doesn't stick as well. So I am going to do my decoration first, but if you are going to paint it in the white chalk paint, black chalk paint, watercolor, green, just paint it first and then do your decoration. But I will do just the opposite side because I like the furniture wax for this time, and I will do that later. So I am going to take my first tree, I place it over here. What I'm going to do, I just grabbed out of my stash some red berries, and I am going to cut off the red berries. And what I'm going to do is just keep them as short as I can. At least I will try. And you see what I'm going to do, I'm going to do on each little step, I'm going to do a red berry. So I will do glue all of them on my tree, and then I show you, because or else it will take so long for you to watch me doing some berries on my tree. So in a moment you see the berries on my tree. You see both of the trees have their berries, and you see that I still need to do something with the top. What I was thinking, I have of course my greenery also over here. I have lots of greenery in my stash, and I did pick out two little pieces, and I'm going to glue them on top of here. And then we are going to do a couple of berries glued together. So I just made a little bundle of berries, and I will do first do the green, and then I will glue the berries on top. So I hope this will work. So we will see if I succeed or if it is totally a failure. We will see. So we get to try to get them next to each other and just squeeze them in place. And of course, try to get your hands off the glue. And also here, remove the glue what is going outside of your tree. So you see, you have a nice top of your tree. And of course, what you also can do is just take another piece and just do a 4-piece. That's what you also can do. I will have to see if this will look okay or not. So I take another one, and I will look for again the second one. So I have on both sides. So we still can do it this way. Just do 2 pieces this way. So we get a total one side, you know what I mean, 4 directions. My English today is very bad. And then glue on top of here, you can glue your berry. So I would just try it, and if I don't like it, I just get it off. So this one over here, and I'm going to try to do this one over here, a little bit next to each other, and I try to squeeze them so I get them a little bit flatter. Is that a word, flatter? At least more equal. So you see, now you get a kind of a star. I don't know if I like this or not. We will see. And then we are going to glue this one on top of here. I showed you a little bit closer, but I still have to think about it if I like it or not. So we will see. But you can do this, and of course you can also do 2. You see the top is ready. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take little pieces of greenery like this. I'm going to place them inside of the little corners over here and try to get them a little bit standing up. So I will do all 4 of them, and then he's ready to do some furniture wax on top of it. You see my trees are ready. Now I have to work my way around with my furniture wax. And of course, if you are the lucky one who chose to paint it, then you're already finished. So I will work my way in between my balls and my berries and my greenery. I work my way to make it a rustic look. So I won't bore you with that. You see in a moment the end. And here you see already on my table, my tumbling tower blocks are ready to go. I hope you have them also laying around in your stash, or maybe you can buy them at Dollar Tree. Here in the Netherlands, we buy them at the Action. Of course, you just saw how expensive they are online. So I'm going to try to make, if you didn't see it yet, I'm going to try to make a cutting board, but with my own twist on it. So let's do this DIY. You see already, I have my tumbling tower blocks ready. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put you on some music. So not everyone enjoys it to see how I make it, but for everyone who does enjoy it, I also want to show it exactly how I make my cutting board, at least my twist on on a cutting board. So I will do some music on it, and then if you don't like it, you always can skip forward. You see already, this is my twist on the cutting board. And the only thing what I don't like is that my blocks are not always the same size. You see here a little bit, there are little spaces in between. Of course, I will work this away with my chalk paint in a moment, but be sure, just look at the blocks if they are the same measurement, or else you get like this one. This is always going right, but if you do pieces together, then you can get this little gaps. So, but I'm going to paint this in the white chalk paint. So you see, I have my white chalk paint, and I do it always, like I said in earlier video, I always do it in this kind of containers. But you can use anything you like. I use the white color, and I'm just going to give it a nice coat of the white chalk paint. But you choose any color you like. If you like a different color better, it's also fine too. And I will do this, I think 1 or 2 coats. I will have to see. And then we're going to decorate it. Here you see already our little different cutting board, because my daughter already was saying it looks like a pineapple. If you really turn it around, it really looks like a pineapple. So, but we will see how it will turn out, if we can make a lemon cutting board of it. What I did before, I'm going to distress it with some furniture wax. Of course, here you see already the brand. I just use a home brand of my furniture wax and some black markers. Before I'm going to do that, I took out my black letters, and I'm going to do some lettering on top of our board. So I will write fresh lemon. You see here already on my table, I lay them out. So I will glue them on top of our cutting board, and then later we are going to distress it, and then we are going to decorate it. And I hope then he looks a little bit less like a pineapple, but we will see how this will turn out. Here is he looking how he is with the fresh lemon on the top of here. I really love a little bit of the bigger letters, but you can use the smaller ones also, just what you prefer. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take my furniture wax and my black marker, and we're going to distress it a little bit. So you see already, I did already a little bit on the top of our board, and on the sides There's no rhyme or reason how I do it. I'm just going a little bit around the sides. And later on I'm going to go over it with my furniture wax to even give it a little bit more of an older feeling. So I will do all the board, and I'm going to do the furniture wax, because or else you will be very bored if you have to see me do this all the time. Here you see already how I distressed my little plates, and I know it still looks not only a pineapple, but only if I look at it right now, he's looking like a fish. I don't know if I filled it or not. We will see at the end if I decorated it. You see here I did some little lemons I have here on my table, some lavender, some ribbon, the buffalo check, some greenery, some white flowers, and of course you can use any flowers you like. I will look for a moment how I will place it on top of our frame and our board. So we will see. I show you that in a moment. Here you see the arrangement a little bit better, and I did only a couple of the lighter leaves. I don't know if they are a little bit the same like the lemons here, but at least it's the same fabric as the lemons here. I just used 3 lemons, 3 other greeneries, and a little white flowers. But like I said, always, you can do anything you like. What I did extra is I couldn't use to get on to the end of my my board because it still looked like a fish. So I did some thicker rope inside of here, and I am going to make a little bow on top of here. This is the bow. It is just a bow the way you are knotting your shoes, and I'm going to glue this on top of here, and then you see the end reveal. You see already what we will need for this new DIY for today. We need some stacking blocks, but of course also known as tumbling tower blocks. You buy them at the Dollar Tree or the Action store. We need a couple of the ladders. You can use wooden ladders, but I am going to use this time the sticker ladders. So this is the main 2 parts we will need for this DIY, and what we are going to make is some easy decorative wooden trees. So we will see how this will turn out. So let's start this DIY. So you saw already how easy it was just to make 2 simple little bases from 3 blocks and 2 blocks on each other. So we have the base, and what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do it with some music, or else you have to talk to me, to listen to me all the time. So I'm going to make the tree, and I show you step by step how I'm going to make it, but he is so very easy. Maybe a lot of you already made it. I still didn't made it, so I am really happy to make this tree. So I'm going to make the base. The first 3 layers I am going to do double, and the other layers I'm going to do 1, but you will see that in a moment. So I'm going to start with 5 of my blocks to give the underbase. So, but for now you will hear music. So you see here already I have the full tree, and of course I have two of them. And how easy was it to make this one? So I did the first 3 layers, I did double, and the 2 and the 1 I did here we call it ankle, at least single. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this one on top of the base, and then we are almost ready to do the stickers on top of it, the letter stickers. So, but you see already how easy was this. So you see already I have the stands over here, and I am going to glue this on top of here. So we are getting a nice piece in the middle. So I'm going to do some glue on this one, and just make sure that the blocks are in the same direction. So I'm going to glue this one on the middle of my blocks, and I have to get it straight. So my tree is at least looking at the same direction. So you see, I hope I got it on camera. It is already, the tree is already finished. So I'm going to do the second one, and then I'm going to go to for some stickers on top of here. You see already I have placed my tree on top of my table. Here I have my letters, but of course, like I said, these are sticker letters. You can use wooden letters. I also have wooden letters, but this time I am choosing for this one because I can paint this in the same color. Of course, the Dollar Tree, the Tumbling Tower Blocks from the Dollar Tree are a little bit bigger, so then you can use a little bigger word than I can. So I am a little bit debating on top of here. I'm doing this tree, I did tree on top of here, and this one I will do leaf. But like I said, if you have the Dollar Tree blocks, then you can write a bigger word on top of it. So you are free to do any word, any sentence you like. I'm going to do the word leaf on top of here, but you can do something else. You are so free to do whatever you like. So I'm going to do leaf over here, and I'm going to stuck it I think also with a little bit glue of my glue gun, because I want to make sure that everything is staying in place when I am going to give it a white chalk paint color. So I'm going to glue this on top of here, and then we are going to paint it. So you see already I did take my white chalk paint, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint my tree in totally in the white chalk paint color. But like also with the birds, you can use any color you like. If you like another color a little bit better, just go ahead, take another color. You see already I am just going over and over my letters, and later on we can distress it, and it looks I hope it looks nice. So we will see. But I'm going to paint both of them, and then we are going to distress it. So here you see already our little trees, and what I'm going to do right now is just take my black pencil and my brown pencil. Of course, a lot of you who are here already for a long time know how I distress. Normally you can do it with black paint and with some brown staining, but I'm going to do always, I think it's a little bit easier, just get a black marker and just go a little bit around the sides of your tree. Just do little pieces to give it a little bit of the old rustic feeling. So also over here a little bit. And what we're going to do with the letters, we are going to do the sides a little bit this way. I show you in a moment a little bit better, and make a little accent so your letters will be coming forward a little bit more. So I show you a little bit better. This is the way, and I know you see it backwards, but in a moment you see it in the right way, because that's just my telephone. So I am going to distress both of the trees, and then I show you how it's looking like. You see already I made both of them in the black color. I distressed them in the black color. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take my brown pencil, and I'm just using a simple pencil. Going to use the little bit of the darker brown. I'm going to go around the sides where you also have your black, and I'm just going to make little spaces brown. but just do a little bit where you think it is fitting. I will do both of the trees and then I show you a little bit closer how I distressed it. And here you see already how I distress my trees. I hope I can show it to you a little bit closer. I hope I'm not in your face right now, but you see already I just did a little bit of the brown and the black color. You can also give it a little bit of the green color with it, so it looks a little bit like moss. But do whatever you think is right for the stain. You can use some furniture wax also, but this is how I distress it. And now we are almost ready to decorate our trees because I want to give it a little bit more of the summery spring feeling. So, but for now the base is standing. You see already on my table I have my two little trees, and I'm going to use a couple of branches. You also can find these branches outside of your home, so don't pay money for branches because like I said you can find them outside. I'm going to use some little branch with some berries. I always rip my branches apart. So you see I have one of this one. I have one of the, it's not really baby's breath, but it is a little bit more bigger flowers. So maybe I will use some white flowers, and I'm using a little bit of this branch because this has a little bit more of the longer stems. So this is a little bit what we were going to use for decorating our tree. You see already I placed you on this side on my table so you can see it a little bit better. At least I hope you see it a little bit better. I am going to do one tree together and the other one I will do out of camera because or else it takes much too long of your time. So what I'm going to do, I'm place my tree just this way. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut out with my little cutting tool. I'm just going to cut out little pieces of the branch. So I will make maybe a 20 or a little bit more, just a little branch, and we are going to glue this on the stem of our little tree. So, but first I'm going to cut a couple of them. So you see already I have a little bundle with my little branches. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue a little bit on the side of our tree and just lay down some of your branches. Just this way, a little bit this way. There's no rhyme or reason how to do it. Just do it as you think it's right. Of course, I'm going to do a little bit glue over here, a little bit glue on the back side, and again on this side. So we can lay down our branches and a bit over here and one over here. Just squeeze it in between. And now we're going to do the second layer. So I show you in a moment how this will look like. You see already my little feet of my tree. And I did, I think 8 or 9 little branches. And of course, I use a lot of the word a little, but you know, these are a little branches. So I can say it. So, but you see, I did a couple of them over here, but you can make it as full as you like. What I'm going to do right now, I'm take a little piece of the longer branch, and what I'm going to do, I'm just gluing this on the back side of our tree, and I'm going to run it over here. I'm going to show it to you this way. I'm going to run it over here, and I'm going to run it again above, and so I make little turns over here and then this way. So I'm going to glue this together and then I show you how it's looking like when you have this branch on top of your tree. And here you see already the tree with the little, yeah, you can name it a garland, or it looks like a little garland you made out of a branch. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to fill up the little size, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And I'm going to use the green little branch, but you can use any greenery you like. I'm just taking off a little bit of the bigger one, and I'm going to glue this on the sides over here, and I'm going to do one over here, one over here, one over here, and one over on top. Of course, you don't see what I mean because you don't see it in camera. Here, one over here, one over here, one over there, and one over here. So I will glue them on top of, of the tree, and then I show you how easy it is just to decorate your tree. You see here, I did the branches on top of here and over here. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to take this little branch with the white flower. I hope to show it to you a little bit better. And I am taking off one of the little flowers, and I'm going to do an on each corner. I'm going to move inside with some glue. I'm going to move inside a little white flower to give it more of the springy summery feeling. So I will do it over here and over here and on the top. So, and then I think for me he is finished, but of course you can decorate it any way you like. But for me, I keep it very easy and simple. So I will do this tree also. And then I show you the finished result of both of the trees. And here you see the finished result of our two farmhouse trees made from tumbling tower blocks. Like I said, you can buy the tumbling tower blocks with the Dollar Tree. And of course, here in the Netherlands, you can buy them at Action. And I am really happy how they turned out. I show you in a moment a little bit closer how both of them look like. But for now, I am so happy you did this DIY together with me. Thank you so much for spending some time with Dyanne and me. If you like this content, of course, we hope you will consider subscribing to our channel. So click the red button and the bell button so you will be notified every time we upload our new DIY. For now, thank you so much for coming by, and I hope to see you in our next DIY.